Welcome to the 10-Minute Beauty Business Podcast. I'm your host, Lexi Lomax, and today we are joined by the fabulous Morgan Edema. She is the owner of Cedar Rose Salon and Suites, which is we're going to get into all of that, how she has a salon and suites in the same building, same four walls. She is a leading bridal stylist and expert in West Michigan, among other things, and my friend and annual advisory client, Morgan. Welcome to the 10-Minute Beauty Business
Hi.
Podcast.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I am too. This is so fun. So I asked everyone that's involved with annual advisory to come on the podcast, and they're like, "So what are we doing? Like, what's this about?" And I'm like, "No, this is like your chance to like come on, and we're going to talk about you, celebrate you, and also like as someone at your level of salon ownership, like you have a lot of knowledge and information to share. Like I might be your business coach, but you are a business phenom in your own right. And so I just want to have you here, give you the floor. And I know we have a bunch of listeners in Michigan. Hey, girl. Hey, to all of your breakfast pals. I always have so much fun with
Yes.
them. We'll have to talk about that too. But I mean, you have a lot to share, and your journey has been, like most of us, full of twists and turns and surprises and things like that. And so why don't you tell us, I mean, we don't need like the whole life story, although I'm sure we'd love to hear it. We don't have
Yeah.
time for that. Kind of tell us like how, like what have been like, what's the most impactful thing that has shifted you from being like Morgan the stylist into Morgan the leader and multifaceted business owner that you are now?
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I worked at a lot of different salons with a lot of different leaders, and nobody does it perfect. I don't do it perfect either, but I feel like there was a gap in the industry in my area, at least.
Mhm.
Like it was really important to me to provide a high-end, beautiful salon space that stylists could come in and do beautiful work, but also charge their worth, make real good money, but also on many different levels. So I have the hybrid salon and suite atmosphere, and some girls want to be like banging hairstylists, but they've got kids and they want to work 2 days a week. And some
Mhm.
girls want to have their whole own salon and do the suite thing. They want to be full time, but a lot of the suites around here, you walk into a hallway and it's lonely and it's like a doctor's office. So we have one open reception area. Everyone walks into the same door. You're greeted. It's a very warm, welcoming vibe. But then we have a shared break room. So it's much more community that my stylists can engage with each other, learn from each other, grow from each other, but still have their business be what they want and what they need it to be.
How long ago, or how long have you had the hybrid model in the salon?
So we opened 2 years ago. May was our
Okay.
2 year anniversary. So we're pretty brand new still. We're a baby salon. I'm learning a lot along the way. We've changed a lot of things, kind of slowly as we've gone because I've learned a lot. But it's been great. It's been a wild ride.
That's so good. But I think like you were just right. I mean, in my opinion, you were ahead of the trend. I think we're going to see a lot more of this popping up because people in suites are lonely and they don't like being, I mean, a doctor's office, I feel like is generous in description of what some suites are like. Personally, I'm like, it's just like weird, like dark hallway doors, and then and that's like the client facing part isn't so bad, but it's the like the interpersonal things that happen when you don't have any cohesiveness between who you might be sharing a wall with
Right. For sure.
that
Yeah.
can impact your
Sure.
business.
Yeah. Because, yeah, like I do interviews before I let anyone sign on. Like they're
Hmm.
technically independent, but I'm like, no, we have like a minimum standard that you have to be at. And we have a dress code. And like you have to provide a certain experience to your clients. And if you don't fit that, then that's fine. But then you're just not the right fit for Cedar Rose.
Right. Yeah, which is so wonderful. I think as a salon owner and as a business coach that is on the inside with so many of us, those standards are a lot of what's lacking and the ability to uphold the standards
Yeah,
is what's
for
lacking.
sure. Yeah.
And all that with leadership and all that goes with it. But I think that that's really wonderful. And your business is beautiful, like physically. And so you can't let someone with their own idea, like come in and not meet your standards because then the whole thing gets deteriorated. I mean,
Right.
then why did you work so hard to have it? Something that we have talked about a ton and just not changing topics a ton. We'll let this conversation go wherever it wants to. But is and you said it just briefly is that you want them to make real money. Like you are like, let's make some real money, which is something that
Yeah.
speaks to me tenfold. And so tell me like what does that mean? And like tell me about how you got there and like what like when you say that, like I there's so much more to it than just like, oh, that's real money.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of personal experience. In my area, it's changing, it's evolving, but I feel like when I was like just starting my career, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're a hairstylist." Like, you don't, like whatever. That was like the easy way out, or like you don't like make good money. You just like do
Right.
hair like here and there. And I'm like, "No, like I pay my bills." Like I bought a house when I was single at 23 years old. And
Hold on, hold on. We just need to celebrate that a little bit more.
I know, right? Like that's freaking
Like
cool.
talk about real money.
Yeah. And like I think anyone can have that opportunity. Like I think women can be the breadwinner if they want to be. Like, but again, it comes with standards. Like you
Hmm.
need to offer a certain something to a client that they're okay paying a certain amount of money to get their hair cut or colored. So
Yeah.
again, like that's the atmosphere and the culture that I wanted to build. That like these girls, if you're single and you want to buy a house, do it. Like if you want to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks, we're not going to put it on the credit card. Like you're going to pay for it.
Hmm.
So
Or
like
if you want to be like Morgan and go to Hawaii for 2 weeks with your husband, but go 1 week before,
yes, I went for
you were
3 weeks and it was the best thing in the world. Yes. So like
literally
I can
goals.
afford that. Yeah, but I work really hard. But again, balance. Like make real good money.
Hmm.
Um, don't don't let yourself be broke.
Yeah, it's a real bummer.
Mhm.
Like that there are so many broke hairdressers who might be making real money, but they're not keeping real money.
Right, yeah. And I think I learned too, again, this is why like Cedar Rose is ever evolving and growing. I learned really quickly, like there's a lot of girls that like they don't know how to budget. They get to the end of the year with taxes and they're like, "Oh, I have no idea how much money I made." And it's like, "No, like we're going to talk about that and we're going to figure that out and you're going to have a game plan and you're going to know what you're set up for and what you can afford." And like things like that. So and I tell the girls all the time, as involved as you want me to be. Like
Hmm.
if you want to sit down and talk numbers, let's get into it. But if you have no interest in me helping you, then I won't help you.
Right.
So there's a lot of girls like we go grab a coffee, we talk numbers, we talk budget, like, hey, you should change up your marketing plan and do this. So because again, like I want you to be maximizing your time and be doing well for yourself in life.
Yeah, well, and especially while they're under your umbrella and your vision, like you have a vested interest, right? And I mean, you're a people person as it is, but like we do want them to succeed, and that's honestly that's the same approach I have. I'm like, hey, I have all these resources. If you want them, all you got to do is ask. But I'm not coming to like do it for you just
Right,
because. Like
right.
that's silly.
And I'm not like a micromanager,
Mm-mm.
like I'm not, yeah, if you want it, I will share everything I have to share with you. So,
Mhm. Which
but
is
yeah, you
such a
have to.
wonderful leadership quality, really. How did you learn to be so good with money or budget or like do that stuff?
It came from scarcity. There's a lot of years that I was like, I have this really big fear of retirement. I don't know why, but I'm like, I want to retire someday.
Don't we
And
all? Don't we all?
yeah, right? Like you can either live your whole life being scared and not knowing, or you can look at your numbers every single week or every single
I
month
know
and
it's gonna be
know
okay.
exactly what you're doing. So I feel like I have that now. I have a great guy that helps me with retirement, and he says you need to have this much money every month, and then you can retire at this age. And
Love
like
that.
love that. Like I love having a plan. I love knowing. And same with an accountant. It took me so many years as an independent stylist to like just hire the accountant. I send her my numbers and then she sends me my P&L report. I know exactly down to the penny where I am every single month. And like that feels really, really good.
Well, data it allows us freedom, frankly, and so many people are afraid to do that, or honestly, just like maybe not afraid of having the data, but they're afraid to do the work because they think it's so much work. But it's like you don't actually have to do the work.
Yeah,
You just have to
just
do make the money. and then like hand the stuff off to somebody else.
Yeah. Yes, that's another huge lesson is like I'm really good at doing hair. So I can either pay an accountant and she's really good at accounting and I could save that time and pick up one extra client and it all
Pay
evens
for it.
out. Yes,
Yes.
it literally pays for itself. So pay for the people that know what they're doing. I like numbers, I nerd out on them, but like no, I need my accountant. Like she's the one that breaks it all down for me perfectly.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I recently was on um like a CPA call with another one of
Okay.
our annual
Yeah.
advisory gals, and it was just like, yeah, this is why we pay people, because like this is outside of my zone of genius for sure. But I'm here to let us know like, oh, this is where we get to push, and this is how we're going to make up that 10 grand that we need to do in order to stay at 15% profitability. Like we can nerd out all day long, but like frankly, I don't know any hairdresser that's also a CPA.
Right. Yeah.
It's a
So
very different skill set. Minds work differently, like all of those things. So you said a big lesson is paying people for what they for their expertise. So tell me about like how you delegate, what you delegate to, and where you've kind of like grown into that. Because I think that and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's been sort of since you've become a salon owner that you've really embraced that.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I find I like to be busy and I love
Mhm.
to take on new projects and do things. When I took on my salon, opening the salon, I honestly had no business doing that at that point. I was so busy. And then I was like, yeah, let me just open a salon right now too. So it like I hit a wall. I was like, okay, I cannot function. We need to delegate hardcore. And I looked at it personally and professionally. So the accountant I had had for a while, but I delegated more to her.
Mhm.
Um, and like we had built trust, you need to build that. But
For
like
sure.
we hired a house cleaner. I was like,
Mhm.
I like a clean house that eases my busy mind. I can't like I don't have the time to clean my house right now. That was a huge one. I don't know why it took me so long.
So many
Um,
people struggle with that. It's like it's
yeah,
the Edith effect. Like
yeah,
that's our, we have Loli now, but it's like whoever like that actually like outer order inner calm gives you so much freedom. And it's so funny because my very best girlfriend is an attorney who makes a lot of money and can afford, she could do what she wants, right? She's partnered at her firm. She's fantastically successful, super smart, and kicks
yeah,
ass. Literally, she and I, like, we've been friends, best friends since kindergarten, but we would fight tooth and nail that, like, she didn't need a housekeeper. And I'm like, you are so dumb. Like,
yeah,
literally, things you can only say to your best friend.
yeah.
Because, like, you're spending you make how much an hour? Like, what's your hourly billable rate at work? Like, it's so high. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna say it. And she won't pay like 1/9 of that
Yeah.
for one whole day for
Yes.
somebody else to clean her house.
Yeah.
Now, since then, I've won this argument, and I think she has someone twice a
That's what
week
now. Yeah.
because she's
It's
got two little kids and
it's
still,
peace of mind. And like peace of mind in itself is so valuable.
oh, it's wild. But like, if you come home to a mess,
Yeah.
like you just can't ever keep up.
No, right.
Like,
It
I mean, we're about to have a second baby, and I'm like, yeah, we're having somebody twice a week. Like, this is just, it's not even that the house is going to be
yeah.
dirty.
Yeah. But
It's
it's peace
just
of
that, like, the order of it
mind. Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
But it really, and it doesn't matter what that thing is for you, right? Like if it's a dirty
Right. It
house
could,
or a clean
yeah.
house or even someone at the salon, or like there's so many things we can delegate to.
Yeah.
But to me it's like you make this much per hour and that thing to be done, like you can't pay someone, like you can't afford not to do it because you're going to pay yourself more than you're going to pay to outsource it, and then like you lost the time.
Yeah.
Like
But
that's the
even,
biggest
yeah,
one.
I think even looking at, yeah, if it's not cleaning your house, it's like grocery shopping or like
Mhm.
meal prep, something like that. I think you can look at your personal life and find a lot of different things that you could delegate. And like for me, it's like, okay, someone's going to come and clean my house for 2 or 3 hours. We have a pretty small house. And so it's, yeah, it's 2 or 3 hours. I could pick up a balayage client and pay for that.
Or you could go get a massage and a pedicure.
Or I could take care of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
the time just you don't get it back.
No.
Yeah,
So
100%. I'm glad you brought that up about, I thought you were going to talk about business stuff, which I'll ask you in a second, but
yeah, that
like
too.
the house stuff and the personal life stuff is so like
Yeah.
it's just invaluable. I mean, I Instacart my arse off because like
It's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it will just, it affords me like that 40 minutes or whatever. Like I
Yeah.
get to play with Camille.
Yeah.
Or I get to, and like, yeah, sometimes we go to the grocery store. Like she's been there. It's not
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but it's just there's so many things that you can do with that time. And to me, I'm like, that's good for the economy.
Right? Exactly. I'm
Doing
giving
my
someone
part.
else a job. Yes.
Yeah. So
All
tell me
of
about
our,
business though. Like, what do
so
you outsource
business,
there?
okay, delegated all of our social media. Um,
Fantastic.
that was great. Don't know why I was hanging on to that for so long. My husband actually, I kind of forced him into some stuff for Cedar Rose. He does like all of our month end, all of our inventory. He is our full-time handyman. Like light bulbs out, call Ross, literally. I'm like, I don't have time to change the light bulb. You got to get here and change the light bulb.
100%. But like, it's part of the agreement,
Yes, yeah. So,
right?
what else? Yeah, accountant, clean the salon gets deep cleaned regularly. I was trying to do that in the beginning. That was ridiculous. Yeah, I was like
Also,
the
there's
person
like
who's
nothing
like,
that
I
makes me more
quit.
mad, I don't think, as a salon owner,
No.
like than to see how dirty people are in your beautiful, perfect space.
Yeah, yeah, that was hard.
At
So,
least for me, that was infuriating. But yeah, cleaning lady at the salon for sure. You don't have time to do that and do hair. Okay, so you delegate your social media. How do you do that?
we have a stylist at the salon, Kendra. She is flipping amazing. I feel like we check in every now and then, but she just runs with it.
Yeah.
And again, I gave her guidelines in the beginning. I was like, this is our vibe, this is our culture. And then every month we do monthly email marketing, a monthly blog. I was like, this is what we're focusing on this month, like try to focus the social media on that. But she handles it.
Yeah. And I also am just going to plug that she's no stranger to the SQ method.
Yes, yes. Seriously, yes.
So
SU all the way.
totally,
Yes.
yeah. So, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, you have to have structure to delegate these things
Right.
out. Like, you
Yeah.
can't just be like, "Hey, do the social," because she would run with the vibe. If it was just like use these colors, like that may not look like what you want, you
No,
know?
and our social media, because we have a plan and we have a system, like because of SQ, like, hey, this is what we're focusing on. It's all intertwined. The blog, the email, the marketing emails, and the social media, it does us wonders. It sells us products, it attracts new clients, and it attracts new stylists.
Yeah. I mean, well, thank you for that, Morgan.
Yes. Yes.
But no, I mean it's so true. You know, it's funny because when we started working together this year with this cohort of annual advisory, I had kind of like put SQ over there. And then the more that each of us got into it separately, now I'm like, SQ is the backbone of everything that
Yeah.
I do. And it also like it's not for just like stylists that have no idea what to say. It's like the whole meat and potatoes is the whole deal. And so thank you for letting me plug that in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
it just makes my world go round. I see it making your guys' worlds go around so much easier and selling you more stuff. You mentioned retail. Tell me what some of the things that you've done to sell more retail this year, specifically with how you communicate with your staff, because that I'm really proud of you for just like stepping up. And then like, what did that mean for your business?
Yeah. So that was another thing. We originally just did like across the board, you get, I don't even remember what percent it was. I think it was like 10% commission
Yeah.
for whatever you sell. And we recently switched over to a sliding scale. So I buy all of our back bar. So their styling aids, shampoo, conditioners, deep conditioning treatments. And some people just weren't really thinking about retail. And again, I'm very much it's important to me the experience that the guest is getting. And part of that experience is your at-home like care is getting that the longevity out of your style and your color lasting. And so that's retail. You have to use good
Right.
products, otherwise your color is going to fade. So we switched it to a sliding scale. So from 0 to 250, they get no commission. 250 to 750 or 251 to 750 they get 15%. Anything 750 and over they go up to 20%.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more motivating for them because you can hit those higher numbers. I personally sell over 750 a month, so I'm like, I know it's possible. And
Yeah.
then I do a monthly education email for my whole staff, and we did a lot of focusing on retail. So I took a lot of you shared a lot of stuff with me. Hey, I listened to this podcast, like check this out about retail. This is how you talk about it. So just little things like that. I think it's easy. I'm not selling retail. I'm literally telling my guest, like, when they're like, "Oh, I just can never get it to look like this at home." Okay, well, you can. You just need the right tools and products. So
Right.
it's just talking about it. So that was great. Literally the first month that we switched to that sliding scale, that I think our retail
Didn't
astronomically jumped.
it doubled?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I think it doubled. I have to go back and look at our notes.
Yeah. And
The
just
the
seeing the girls like share stuff on social media that they've never shared before. They're like, hey, I really like this oil. I use this at the beach. Or I'm like, yes, like that's all you need to do. You just need to talk about it and share it.
Yeah. I think, yes, they need to talk about it and share it, but you have done an excellent job. And you're like, yeah, I just send this little educational email. No, like this is part of the
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah.
And it's
Yes.
huge because it shows them how to speak to it. You give them the resources,
Yeah.
and this has been a huge initiative for us this year. And it was like when you sent those numbers after the first month of like putting
Yeah.
the new scale in place
Yeah.
and all this stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is what we're freaking
It
talking
was
about.
great. Yeah. It was really, really great.
And
So
well, and
that's
it's
worked really well.
simple for you because you're already doing it, you know the product, but
Yeah.
also, yeah, the first time is going to take you a minute to like write those emails, but next year
Yeah.
you just send the same emails.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Just repeat.
Right. Like it's the information doesn't change and they still have all those resources and it's, your hero lineup that we're going deep into. And so it is.
Oh yeah, that's SQ too, isn't it? Hero lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. That was lovely.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's what, yes.
you just have to simplify the whole freaking thing.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing in business, honestly. Everything's overcomplicated,
Mm. Yeah.
especially in the salon. Like we get to create beautiful hair and skin or services, whatever,
Yeah.
and have these relationships with people and help them maintain it at home. And like that's it.
Yeah.
Why do
Yeah.
we get so flubbed up in the middle?
Yes.
Because we're human.
So true. Yeah.
As we are human. So let's shift gears a little bit. And tell me about like so we mentioned that you went on vacation to Hawaii for 2 weeks and you went 1 week before,
Good. Yeah.
but you're also still behind the chair quite a bit, considerably. That's a huge part of your income.
Yeah.
And you just like took 6 weeks off of vacation last year. How many will it be this year, do you think?
I don't know. I haven't been
I
counting.
I think it's
I
gonna be
just take
more.
off when I want
Right,
to.
exactly. So you have a lot of freedom.
I do. Yeah.
Um, I mean, tell me about that. How'd you get there? Were you always that flexible? Were you all like, do you have to like
No.
hustle hard to go on vacation? You come home, you're sick, and then da da da, or is it like
It used to be that way.
it
Yeah, I
used
used
to?
to get sick all the time. I still like there's still moments that I'm struggling that okay, so I do a lot of bridal hair too.
Hmm.
Bridal season in Michigan is very, very condensed. So May and June is a little difficult. So I do remember we were together in May and then I came home and I had like my normal clientele and I had a bunch of weddings and I was like, oof, I'm a little bit too busy right now.
Okay.
Um, but it just, it is what it is. We're forever working on that. Um, but yeah, I feel like I am a stylist. I like to work when I'm home. I do work a lot. Not in a I don't think in a bad way, but I mean I work a lot. I like to work.
There's
But
nothing wrong with working.
yeah, I take more vacation than most people.
You should.
And it works for me. It works for my clientele. Um, Yeah. I feel like they're like, it's kind of funny. My clients are always just like, so when's your next vacation?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like,
That's what
I
I
also
do.
think that's fun. Like, you have something to talk about, something to look forward
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It's always different. But so, like, were you ever like before you found the balance, or the balancing
Oh,
of
yeah.
all of this? Like, were you ever in that spot? Like, was burnout a part of your equation in order to like why you loved to vacation so
Yeah.
much? Or tell me how we
I
got
feel
there.
like 10,000%. So literally just I think it was 2 years ago. We were like opening Cedar Rose. I was doing so many weddings. My clientele was like full time. And yes, Ross and I went to Costa Rica and I literally did not even register we were leaving until like we were on the plane because I was so busy, so uncontrollably busy trying to get myself out of town.
Yeah,
And then
same.
I was
Been
just
there.
like a potato on the beach. I was like, don't talk to me. Like, I need to literally unwind for 4 days. And then I enjoyed like the last few minutes of vacation. And then I'm sad to say this, but I think there was 3 vacations in a row that the first day I came back from vacation, I had a panic attack because I had so much going on.
I
So
believe it.
then, yeah, last year I booked myself buffer days. So
Ah,
I take a day off before and a day off after. And those are like my office or errand days or literally pack. Don't stay up until 1 a.m. to
yeah.
pack. Like take your time off. So the buffer day at the end has, and at the beginning has completely changed my life. Like I
Hmm.
square up everything before I leave. I'm not answering emails on vacation. And I say, and if they are, if people like need to reach me, like, hey, I'll talk to you on Wednesday the 17th. Like I'll be home that day. Versus before it was like, oh, I'm on vacation. Like I have to answer this client and I have this email and I have this going on and
Like
this
that client's
here.
needs are so much more important than you
They're
and your
fine.
margarita at the beach. Like,
Yes.
just
They're
why do we think that though?
Yeah. We do, right? Like yeah, I would be like, I have to get back to this client. Like it's necessary. I answer her right now and get her an appointment right now. And it's like, no, it's not. Literally tell her, hey, I'm off this week. I will respond to you. And like clear communication, like I will respond to you on this day. And
Yeah,
it's been
absolutely.
amazing. Yeah. I
Well,
also really,
I
really believe in work retreats.
uh-huh,
So
same.
yes, you book a cabin. My friend Michelle and I last year, we booked 3 days in Colorado, cabin in the woods, had a hot tub. It was all white space. And like again, very clear communication ahead of time, like, hey, we're going here to work. But we're both like creative minds and like, oh, and she's not even in the hair world. She's in like kitchens and baths, but like
Oh,
to bounce ideas off of each other and just like talk about work and have white space. I get more stuff done on those like work retreats than I could ever even tell you.
yeah, 100%. I can relate so much to what you're saying in that like you would get on vacation and then be like, am I on, like you
Yeah.
can't unwind. Like your nervous system isn't, it's not safe. You need to be
Yeah,
working
no.
like, in those moments, and overcoming that was a huge part of me changing my business, and being able to do this today. But it is, it's so fun. I love, like, I know we had a call when you were on your work retreat before your
Yes.
husband
Yeah.
arrived in Hawaii, and I was like, this is fantastic.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Like,
And then,
so
yeah,
great.
my husband and I enjoyed our vacation together. Like the Costa Rica trip, I was like, Ross, like, go make friends with someone else. Like, I can't talk. Like, I'm dying. I need to relax and do nothing. And then in Hawaii, it was like, welcome. Like, let me show you the island. I can't wait to vacation with you.
That's
And I
so
put my
fun.
laptop away and I never opened it again for 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. And you could tell you guys were really living it up. Like, I was
Oh,
looking at your stories, like, she
oh,
did this
so
so
fun.
well.
Yeah, we did it well. So, but again, yeah, Lexi, like it's all like the systems and delegating and having the right people in place that I trust. And I just look back to like 2 years ago and I'm like, I cannot believe I was doing what I was doing. Like I was so unwell.
Yeah. And not making the money,
No,
which
no.
is the saddest part.
Yeah.
Like, if you're so unwell and you're crushing it financially, like, I'm not going to support that, but at least we can rationalize it. But the fact that you make more money now, live better,
Take
like,
more
that's
vacation.
that's
Yeah.
the whole point. That's dream 10. Like, that's the whole freaking point.
It's really beautiful.
So, well, I mean, that's just all so great. So tell me, who's on your team? What do you delegate to? Like, we know about social media and like having the cleaning crew and this sort of, and then Ross is a part of your work team.
Yep.
And he's not just like a battered husband, he's on payroll.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
He gets
it's a
paid.
part of the system.
Yeah, he's yeah, does it all.
Yeah.
Um, Claire Monroe, which you recommend and talk about, is amazing. She totally revamped our whole website. She got us set up for marketing emails, our
Yeah.
blog to help with SEO. I have Lauren. Lauren does all of our visibility for Yelp and
Awesome.
Google. Who else do we have? AI.
AI, we love him. He's the
We love
best.
AI.
Yeah.
He helps me a lot. So, but no, it's a pretty small team. I have my accountant and my CPA are separate, but they like work together.
Great.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, you don't have to have a huge team. So it sounds like you have a finance team, right? You have
Yep.
a financial planner, accountant, CPA, and then you have um, a VA.
Yep.
right? And Claire, who
Yep.
we love and talk about Claire all the time. You guys will hear from her on an upcoming episode. Um, and we have your social in-house team, like your
Yep.
marketing kind of people. And then, I mean, you have various, like you can pick up freelancers here and there, right? Like to make things for you whenever you need them, or
Yep.
I mean, it's so nice to have that. And then you have, oh, and you have me.
Yeah. And which big time. Yeah.
Right.
Weekly.
But mentorship, well, you are so funny.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that you have like I think it's when we think about delegating in a team, my financial planner says you need a financial team, you need a business team, and then you need mentorship in finances and in business, and then you need doers,
Yeah.
both
Okay.
in finance and
Sure.
business.
Yeah.
And then you're in the middle connecting both layers of that.
Yeah.
And my financial planner has taught me quite a bit about business actually, but and life and
Yeah.
stuff and
That's
what
nice.
not to do with your money, by like her stories of horrible things that have happened to people. But like when it comes to investing, like you invest in people that help you do, and also in people that help you see the next level and to plan, because without that planning, at least in my business, it's really hard to do it all by yourself at this level of business.
It's impossible. Or
Yeah.
yeah, you're just like it's all gonna be half, like you're not
Right.
gonna do anything well. So I think yeah, your group, the annual advisory group, I did really also struggle being very lonely as a business owner. Because it's not the same. Like my hairstyle, when I was like hairstylist coworkers, like we were all besties, and like you have to have boundaries. So it's just a different kind of friendship nowadays. So getting together with the annual advisory group was just like food for my soul. Like it was like brain melt, like we learned all of the things, but it was also like, oh, and then we're just gonna have dinner and have a glass of wine and like just talk. And we all know what we're talking about. And then we have that group, we call it the Salon Owners of West Michigan. We get
Yes.
together seasonally, probably, yeah, a few times a year, and we just talk and we hang out and we're like, oh, hey, this is working really good for me. I'm trying this. So
How did
that
that get started? I'm like just nosy.
like randomly. So I had gone to a salon in Grand Rapids and taught a class. So me and a bridal class, and then me and that salon owner just kind of started talking. And she was like, I want to start like this kind of networking like thing. And we didn't even know what it was going to be. So it started as three of us just grabbed coffee one day. And then we all like invited someone else. And now it's several different salons. We're in a group chat and we like text each other regularly. And we're all pretty close to each other,
Hmm.
like in proximity, like our
Yeah.
salons aren't that far apart, but it again, yeah, we got together on Friday and sometimes we talk about issues or we talked about retail strategy. We talked about hiring and firing. So just having someone that like knows what you're going through on the day to day, but it's a safe place. Like
Hmm.
that's next level.
I mean, and for salon owners in general, like it's hard.
It's really,
Like we're
yeah,
holding
for sure.
space for these people and their clients
Yeah.
and their financial like responsibilities to their families. Like we're like somebody said to me, and I was so offended, but I shouldn't be because I'm like never offended. But I just thought like you have no freaking clue, lady.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Oh, so you won't be here much after you have this second baby." And I was like, "Why would you assume that?"
Yeah.
Like, but okay, like I'm gonna let that go because like I'm human and like she just is. This is about her own limitations, not
Yeah.
mine.
Right. Like you can be a mom and a great business
Yeah,
owner.
that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, like my responsibility here is so deep.
Mhm.
Like, and the salon, like, sure, I don't have to show up here in order for the salon to flourish and thrive. And I have the systems in place and I can be gone for extended periods of time. And like, yeah, my leave probably will be 6 months, but I will still be physically present because the salon is my first baby. Like she's my ride or die. And like not just for me, but like those women rely on the salon to be at the standard, like you said, for their lives and their families. And I just thought, ugh, with that woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
But really like that's what we do as salon owners. Like we hold that responsibility. We hold that privilege to have the four walls that house that for other women and men and whoever they are.
Yeah.
And it is important like that we have support in that because it is a lot. So like I think that a big takeaway for me in this conversation is like if you don't have salon owner friends, you need to find some.
Yeah, go find some. Yeah.
Because it's not about like scarcity or they're doing better than me or like or
Right, yeah,
whatever.
like we could easily all be in competition with each other, but instead it's like, hey, this is working really well for me. Like, let's share it.
Try
Yeah.
it. How close is the closest salon to you of the salon owners?
Uh, like 15 minutes, like
Oh,
20
like you
minutes.
literally could share clients.
Oh, for sure. Share stylists, share clients. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, they're all very, very in the Grand Rapids area.
What the heck?
But it's
Like
like,
amazing. Like this
it's
is the best
yeah.
thing for my ears. Like community over competition is real. Y'all heard it here first.
Community. Well, and I'm very much a person like another like scarcity over at peace. Like I'm very at peace with if a stylist, I'm not the right fit for everyone. Cedar Rose is not for everybody. So like it's not about like stealing clients or stealing stylists. It's like if someone is unhappy at Cedar Rose, like I want them to leave. I don't want them to be unhappy in my salon. And maybe they would be way happier at a different location and I can give them that location.
You
Like
know who they're going to be a great fit with.
yes. So it's like why don't we just live that lifestyle?
It's just so much easier. Like you don't want to keep people that don't want to be there
No,
and
no. But
clients
again,
either.
I think too, I've really learned in the last year, like I know what my culture is. I know what my mission is, and that's who I align with. And that's literally not going to be every stylist. So it's
You don't
okay
want
that
it to be
no, no,
because then
no.
you can't, your point of difference becomes muddled and watered down. And like, who's got time for that?
Yes. I'm gonna stand in my culture and what I built this salon for and what I want it to be. And I'm at peace with that.
Yeah, and that's how you're going to make that real money. Like that's like ultimately it all comes back to that. The foundations and of course the systems and protocols allow you to live, but like even without the systems and functionality of the business, having that solid foundation, like just knowing what you're there to do allows you to go forth and flourish and bring these other women alongside you as you grow. Like it's such an honor for me to be in your corner and to come with you too. Morgan, I just have loved having you here today. Before we wrap up, I like to end the podcast these days. You know, we fly by the seat of our pants around here. But currently, this is what I'm into. I want to ask you three rapid fire questions. Um, and and that's that. So here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
What are you obsessed with right now?
Oh, Sarah J. Maas World. Mass, Sarah J. Maas World. The Court of Thorns and Roses
Oh,
series. She's an author. And I'm currently reading Throne of Glass. I'm just in it.
okay, so my friend Susie has been reading like I need to read this. And
I
every
think
salon has
it's
read
so
it.
good. I think it is so good. And the books are huge. Like
So
they're the
you could devour it.
yeah. Well, like yes, and like a little unhealthy. Like I'm like, hey Ross, I'm not cooking tonight because I got to read this book.
Oh, I love that so much. I love
Yes.
it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you like not obsessed with right now? Like what's like something you want to go away?
Are these supposed to be personal or like professional?
Anything. Like it really
My
doesn't
God.
matter. I don't
I feel
care.
like everyone's really into Bridgerton right now, and I've never watched it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, put your book down.
No, right? I'm like, oof, maybe I need to get in on that. So,
Yeah, I'm just like that's going on your next
well,
assignment. You have to start
these
with
books
episode
are
or
so freaking big. Like I can't do it all. So yeah, I'll finish this massive world of
you might need to get your priorities right. I
right.
don't know. So you're like, I'm not obsessed with it, but maybe I should be.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I love it. And what's your go-to like desert island hair product? Like the only one that if you can only have one, what is it?
This is so easy. Kevin Murphy Young Again oil. I
Oh,
literally like I would eat that if I could. I put it on my hair probably 3 times a day.
really?
Literally. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. You heard it here first.
Yeah. It's
Young
magic.
Again Oil. It's got me sold with the title. I'm thinking of like, wait a minute. Did we do deep dive into that yet? Like, do I need to go back into your notes? Do we need to look at that again?
Maybe.
Maybe that's your next video.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Morgan, any parting words? Tell us where to find you on
Um,
social and
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
follow
yeah,
me on social. I'm Hair by Morgan Rose. Love that. That's fun. Cedar Rose Salon and Suites in Grand Rapids, West Michigan is my salon. So yeah, that's mostly it, just Instagram. We are on TikTok.
that's what I was
We're
gonna
doing a
say.
lot of like tutorials. Cedar Rose Salon and Suites on TikTok is new, and we're newly on YouTube.
Hey,
So,
I love
so
hearing
many
about that.
options. But
Yes,
yeah, we love like the video tutorials, product tutorials. So we're doing a lot of that lately. So it's been fun. So.
love it. We'll see those retail numbers continue to rise. Morgan, you have been a dream. Thank you so much for being on the 10-minute videos
Thank
podcast.
you for having me. This was
You,
fun.
yes, so much fun. You guys go follow Morgan. And we didn't get into it today, but I just want to mention here, like your bridal styling is effing next level. So if you are someone who wants to get into bridal styling or is a seasoned bridal expert yourself and just like want some inspo, go to Morgan's page for all the good things that we've talked about, but also just for fun, like to look at the beauty. So I'll leave it at that. Morgan, thank you. Mwah.
Thanks. Thank you, Lexi. We'll see ya.